how branding inspires people to perform, okay? So the first point I want to make, the first thing I want you to consider is that in fact, this is a real important point, companies don't make things happen, people do. You might work in a company and the leadership of the organization has a vision, a plan, a strategy, and puts it out there, but unless the people in the organization own it, take responsibility for making it happen and actually do it, it ain't gonna happen, yeah? Here's the question, okay? If people make things happen, here's the question. What percentage of the people who are employed in the great Sydney CBD buildings surrounding us, yeah, are engaged? Here's the number, 20%, okay? Now this is a number according to the Gallup survey, and there are many other such surveys, yeah? But the Gallup survey reckons 20% of people are engaged at work. Yeah, that means 80% are not, okay? So it seems to us, and seems to me, that people are not engaged at their place of work by their work. And this is fundamentally an issue. And I know it's an issue facing many people. I'll skip that slide. There's a lot of satire that sits around this whole notion of company, the institution, and people. Dilbert is a great. If you want to read Dilbert or follow Dilbert? So here's the Dilbert cartoon. Employee satisfaction has doubled since last year. The credit goes to our new program of firing smart people. You're safe. Yes. Yeah? It's that sort of satirical, tongue-in-cheek kind of look at all the endeavors of great organizations and all the things they try and do. At the end of the day, it's often not the right thing. And when you look at the Harvard Business Review and Fast Company and the sort of magazines that are, you know, in the business zone space, these are some of the covers in the last 12 months, yeah? Getting the best from your people. I gotta get a life, man. Work is crazy. The value of happiness, yeah? That's the Harvard Business Review, yeah? Cover story with a smiley face on it. Harvard Business Review, how to keep your star talent, how to build a culture of trust and collaboration, the real leadership lessons of Steve Jobs. This is a pressing, burning business issue. Because for most companies, the biggest resource they have and the biggest investment they make is in their people. And yet they turn up to work and they're only giving 20%. 20% are engaged. The other 80% are not engaged. They're not getting the best out of them. And when you do get people who are engaged, it's a good thing, okay? In other words, does engagement impact on performance? And of course it does. The Gallup study, and this study was done around the world, yeah? Massive, massive study on employment and people and their engagement in organizations. Top half of employee engagement show on average 86% higher success rate in customer metrics, 70% higher success in lowering turnover, 70% in productivity, profitability, safety figures, etc., etc. Happy people are good for business, guys. Happy people make more money. So the goal here, and this is a slide that someone will recognize, hey Mel, is to release workers from captivity so they can grow and thrive. You get that? Remember the blue-collar factory where you went in and did mindless little chores? Well, the office has become the white-collar factory. For many, many people, it's dull, it's boring, it's not an outlet for me to express myself and be creative. And for many people, it feels and tastes like that. For us, the way to deal with this and release workers from captivity is through branding, okay? And I want to make 3 points around branding. The first is, what do people want at work? I then want to talk about the concept of having brand on the inside of an organization as opposed to brand on the outside, which is the usual understanding of brand that we all have. And the third is the meaning-making machine and how to create and put that meaning into the organization and into your people's hearts and minds. First thing, what do people want at work? Yeah? Now, you've seen these studies, guys. There are lots of studies like this. This is one of them. You know, top 5 things companies can do to help their staff stay committed and motivated. We've got respect, life-work balance, quality service, quality colleagues I get to work with, the type of work I get to do. I come in, I get a chance to do my best and do awesome stuff. Oh, and by the way, I'd like to be paid as well. In other words, salary is not the #1 reason. Yeah? Duh. If you think about it, of course it's not. People don't just work for a salary. People work. It's part of their life. They want to contribute in a way that's bigger than just earning a paycheck. Salary is number 6, yeah? So when we think about this, and you think about people in organizations, our preference, and I think the way to do this, is to assume a positive view of people and human nature. And very often, if you think about the HR function in an organization, it assumes a negative view. The role of HR is to make sure you don't take too many sickies, you don't jip the petty cash, yeah? And you put in your bloody form so you can, when you take your leave. In other words, it's there to protect the interests of the company. The assumption is that you are going to do something wrong in some way. If you assume a positive view of human nature, everyone naturally wants to be engaged at work, yeah? Do they not? So it's not like a case of, oh God, only 20% of people are engaged. How do we get the rest engaged? Well, you know what? They want to be engaged. Given the choice between average and awesome, every person I know would choose awesome. Why wouldn't you? You see that thing there? It's a potato. You know what happens when you put a potato in the corner of a dark room and it's pitch black, yeah? You know, it just starts growing and a little root comes out of it and you have one little tiny bit of light in the corner of the room. You know what that root does? It grows towards the light. Yeah, have you seen that? It grows towards the light. And that's what people do. They gravitate towards the light. But there has to be some light, guys. There has to be some light that they can grow towards. So these are the KPIs for the new talent economy. The key performance indicators: pride, ownership, satisfaction, happiness. Yeah? These are the things that people are wanting. Fundamentally, when you talk to people about what it's about, these are the KPIs. And underneath it all is this fundamental thing. People need connection. People need empathy. People need open communication. We do. You do. I do. We all do. We call it branding. Yeah? This is the language of brand. Who are we? Where are we headed? What do we do? How do we do it? Why do we do it? You've seen this sort of language before. And what often happens, and this is a bit of our blueprint and how we work, yeah? And this blueprint drives brand on the inside, brand on the outside. But this is what tends to happen, okay? When people sit around in big committees making decisions about, you know, guided by a relentless, put in heartfelt adjective here, focus on cliche, another cliche, and yet another cliche. In other words, you kind of get the cynicism that sits around this. Oh yeah, another vision statement, another mission statement, another set of values. Oh great, rah, rah, rah. What the hell does that mean to me? In other words, there's a distinction between branding on the inside that is institutionalized. You know, it's like treating everybody like just putting him back in boxes again and there you are. And that is real and meaningful and personal. Yeah? So this is the key. Let me ask you this question. Very fundamental, basic, but important question. What are the attributes of a peak performer? Like peak, best of the best, on fire in any company or business. Empowered. Focused. Yeah? That language, we can go on and on, that language. Are those words in job descriptions? Are those words in your job description? Empowered, engaged, and motivated? Is that on your CV, the one time you actually package yourself and sell yourself to a company? Empowered, motivated, self-individual, just hire me now, you know? We don't play that game, do we? The CV is quite a serious document. It's my experiences and what I've learned. 3 little tricks about branding on the inside that we've learned as well. 3 little ingredients that really make this thing fly. First thing is start at the top. Second thing is capture your truth. What is our truth? What are we really and fundamentally about, honestly? And the third thing is tap into people's intrinsic motivators. Here's the last bit, the meaning-making machine. So we think of brand, therefore, as a meaning-making machine. It creates meaning and purpose. What is our purpose? And it plays out like this, okay? So purpose is a grand idea, a grand ideal. This is how it plays out. In your life, and in every single person's life, sitting out there, working in their little cubicle, they've got 2 lists of things they've got to do every day. There's stuff they have to do, and there's stuff they like to do. And for most people, the list looks like this. If you are not engaged at work, it's because your have-to-do list is a long thing of shit you have to do, and your like-to-do list is a very short list, and it's usually reserved for holidays and weekends. Now, if your way of being is, I have to do this, that's what I get from you. Thank you very much. And you know these people. You've had meetings with these people. They walk into your office, and their whole way of being is, I have to do this. You go, oh my God. Yeah, here we go. The key is to change the balance here. There are always things in life you have to do. That's life. But what you really want to do is make sure that your I like to do list is longer than I have to do. And that comes down to what is your motivation and your purpose for what you do. And that's what branding brings. And that's what leadership brings and all those things. And some of you probably know this story about a guy who's a sweeper. Yeah, it's quite a famous, he's at NASA. He's a sweeper at NASA. I bet you just live for weekends and holidays. No, I'm not a sweeper. I am playing my part in landing man on the moon. I'm playing my part, you know, in doing the Star Trek Enterprise, exploring and going where no man has gone before. I'm the sweeper. I'm not the guy on the rocket, but that's what I'm about. That's the purpose. That's the greater glory why I'm here. In the same way, every company has that. And the thing is to find that, identify that, and put that out there. And people, like the potato in the corner, will aspire to that and latch onto it in their own unique way. And that way, you can have a really powerful brand happening in the organization.